I love you, baby. I'm never gonna give you up, baby. Never gonna let you down, baby. Never gonna run around and desert you. Oh, pretty baby. I'm never gonna make you cry, baby. I'm never gonna say goodbye, baby. I'm never gonna tell a lie and hurt you, baby. So let me love you.
Hello everyone, Darth Vegan here from Esquire. Esquire's Coffee. Tea with soy milk. You know, gotta go with the light. Coffee, but yeah. They've blocked the road. Just put on Twitter actually. Apparently this is fine, but it's probably gonna exile just a oil and separate. Oh, now I'm blocked the road. Perfect time for me. Is it something to do with arms to stay? But it's a bit hypocritical, isn't it? It's apparently the contact list for a problem, but this is fine. So we have indeed arrived at Vegfest UK London 2022 at Olympia. Incredible. Where do I start? I don't know. There's well, I mean, it doesn't scratch my camp out, but it's still pretty cool, I suppose. So yeah.
It's actually Arabic, this is an Indian thing. Now, what I'll do is I will twist it out, okay? I will be left with some pulp. I do not discard that pulp. I'm going to make anything with that pulp.
I've been invited to trial some vegan dog food. That's alright, yeah.
Use coffee or something.
It's alright. I would say that about dog food, but right. So yeah, there's a dental stick for dogs. Made out of plants. There we go, plant. Yeah, so I guess I would eat some dog food. The things I get up to, I don't know.
That's our peeler and chip. Comes with a small blade. The small one does your noodles. So if you ever want to do your noodles, carrots, cucumbers, courgette, you don't need a spiralizer. Put it down, put it down, put it down, put it down. So if you just want to buy them, they're $6.99 for cheap. Then we have our strip slicer from South Africa. I'll tell you what the difference is because you guys call it grater. We don't call it a grater because in our five-star restaurants, we're not allowed to use a grater. Simply being, when you use a grater, it comes in different sizes. We have to do this in a separate pre-mill. So when you do your veg, it stays hydrated. So you don't use a liquid. It never clogs up, so we put the metal into the plastic. Right? So it's really good. Now you can do cheese, carrots, or cucumbers, not a problem. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give you an example. Again, I keep telling everybody in England, use a fork. If you're worried about your fingers. Don't cut the root of an onion. Do you know why? It makes you try it. Stick the fork in there. Now, I don't care what knife you have, because I'm a chef on a five-star restaurant, right? Your onions will never be the same. Cheese, carrots, cucumbers. And I'm going to go right to the bottom to show you, look, it's not going to affect my fingers. Now we're promoting, I had a great day yesterday, so we promoted this for $14.99. But if you buy that this morning from me, I don't have to charge you for that. That's $6.99 separate. I'll throw them in free. So you get the whole lot for $14.99. Lastly, we love our chips, right? Yes?
Yeah.
Right. Come on. So potatoes, in England, what they'll do is, they'll sell you different blades. So you get lots of different blades. Do that. You don't. I've been doing this for 20 years now. When you're cutting a potato, cut it in half, lengthwise, stick it in there. Quickest way. If you've got an air fryer, even better. Now then, you're saying to me, and you're thinking the same thing like I am, it's easy to do chips. Let's try an onion. Now what people do, I don't know if you've been watching, you put a full onion in there. You don't need to. Cut it in half, skin facing up. Now I have grandchildren, and when they come over, if I tell them to have carrots or cucumbers, they don't want it. But if I cut the sticks like that, or I take them to McDonald's, they want to buy a $1.99 packet. You know what it's like, right? What for? Cut it long, and I'm watching my TV with some hummus sauce. Cut it short, and you would cube it. Not a problem, okay? So
been around, I've tried a few things. One was some plant-based meat, and the other one was some sweet treats made in Ukraine that were delicious, and all but one of them were gluten-free, so that. And you know, I do have a habit of saying that gluten-free isn't very tasty, which it isn't usually, but so this is pasta. So yeah, this is penne with green pasta. That's pasta. This is penne with tomato sauce. Is that also pesto? I think that is. No, I don't think it is. I think it's more just a regular tomato sauce. This is gnocchi. I'm assuming that's carbonara sauce. That's it's nice. Oh, there's a bit of mushroom. Can I get? I want to get the mushroom. Please let me get the mushroom. There we go. Doesn't really taste of anything. Yeah. This stuff here is priced extremely ridiculously. I'll be honest. Don't like being in camp out. The whole thing of having a captive audience, I suppose. here. Stuff at the conference was much more reasonably priced. This here does feel like vegan camp out, but with a sort of vibe of a party conference, but is less exciting than either of them. If you get what I'm saying. I don't know.
You can either pop
So,
into any of them,
just
depending
try
on
some
your
this.
or order online.
Okay.
Honey. So
I'll get 2 jars of this.
Yeah, for that
I
offer.
do, yeah.
So when
you explain the process of making it. It's basically the stuff that's in honey,
You've
just
been to look.
without putting it through the bees first.
I can tell. Yeah,
And by the way,
yeah, so that's
this is
750
hot
card.
honey.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Made, can you believe it? It goes to
No, like
Chili's.
I love I used to love honey, so it's amazing that you've
His
got
name
this
is very
option
similar
now.
to mine.
So if you on social media, if you open the jar, take a pic.
Yeah.
Righty then. So,
Medicine says
I've tried the hot honey. It was very hot. Obviously, it goes to Chili's.
which is like
And
doing that for 150
Jack told me the guy was running the store
Your 75 minutes of kind of intense jogging, running,
that he likes to have it with whiskey and lemon
That's what we
juice.
should kind of aiming for.
It's like
But just
stomach,
if you're not able to get
stomach
there,
acid.
just doing a little bit of exercise beyond zero
pure
has huge implications for your overall health. So if you're going from complete couch
That sounds
potatoes, sedentary lifestyle,
like
to
the
even going
magic
from
of
3
me.
walks a week, it does massive
tried
amounts for
chickpea
your
granola.
health, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, reducing the risk of type 2 diabetes. There's so
I
much
am going
you can do
come
with
across that.
exercise. In fact, the longest lived people in the world get frequent exercise, frequent activity. And in today's society, obviously, with all the sedentary jobs we have,
So,
if I sit stuck in front of the computer,
one
we're
for
inside all the time.
£5.99,
That's why people are getting sicker and dying earlier,
packs for
because they're not
£10
exercising
inside.
at all, if they're not. Okay, so everyone
You
should
get
be
a
exercising.
kilogram
When we talk about exercise, we
porridge
split
oats
two things.
for,
There's
I think,
cardiovascular fitness,
£1.59.
so you're
Tesco.
jogging, you're cycling, you're swimming,
I think I'm going
you're
to stick
rowing.
with that.
That
Thank
really
you very
works your
much.
heart and your lungs. And that's hugely important
I mean, obviously,
if your aim is to live
chicken
longer and
granola.
healthier. Think about it this way, you're training your heart and your lungs to work optimally, and your muscles to pull that oxygen out
You know,
optimally. You're going to be much
If you
healthier than
chocolate
someone who's
and
not doing that.
coconut flavour.
Not only is it going to help you maintain a healthy weight, but it's going to help you handle the carbohydrates that you eat. So a lot of people are scared of eating carbohydrates, but if you're working out and
Not
active,
an
and your
apple.
body's going to be better at using those carbohydrates, it's going to shuttle it into the muscles. It's going to stop you getting these sugar
Lower your
spikes.
prices,
It's going to
then
stop
I'll
you getting
consider
things like type 2 diabetes.
You know what I mean?
So quite a few people, not everybody. Okay. So essentially, what protein is just a long chain of things called amino acids. So if you imagine a string of beads, each bead is an amino acid, and then that whole string, when you put those beads together, is your protein. The body will then take that protein. When you eat protein, your body will break it down and digest it, and break it down to these single amino acids. And then your body's quite clever. It will just build the proteins it needs from these amino acids. So as long as you get the protein in you, your body will know what to do with it. It doesn't know whether it's coming from animals or whether it's coming from plants. Protein is protein. As long as you can digest it, get it in you, it will do the rest. So it's got a variety of roles in the body. It's not just for your muscles, but it's used for structural proteins in your bone, your tendons, your ligaments. It carries out loads of enzyme reactions in the body as well. So protein's really important. And I think there's two schools of thought where some people say you shouldn't really worry about it, and some people obsess over it. So as I said before, it can be used as energy as well, but really poorly. So athletes that are obsessing over protein and not eating enough carbs, they might find they don't have enough energy, because you can't really use that protein for energy. I mean, you can, but it's a very long-winded process, and the body doesn't want to do that. The body prefers to use carbs and fat before it starts using protein.
Righty then, I've just come upstairs. This is the view of the event. Vegfest. Very nice. Being on top and looking down. Yeah. This feels like you're playing golf. I don't know what to say half the time, to be honest, people. Yeah. Anyway, let's go see. There's actually some stalls up here as well. Go check them out. Very interesting t-shirt designs. King David. Get registration. Using Coca-Cola to kill flowers. He's eating money. Oh, you know evil, see no evil, say no evil. Alright. Trust me. Should just sneak around the television. Hypnotising mobile he's watching. It's just over out. Mushrooms. Right. The history of being kind. Love studying history, I do. And these are all the people who are vegetarian or vegan in history.
And then is that an email address?
And all the different movements throughout history as well. And very interesting that you know, it's history like. Since pretty much that's when veganism became a thing, and then it's just like such a new thing. And it's incredible how late West was to the whole game. Then it says Europe and Greece.
Cool, yeah, that'd be great.
Obviously in this whole period, as there is much mention, was obviously whole religion, and then how vegetarians used to be persecuted in the Middle Ages. So, well, everyone else really. To follow the sort of strict teachings of the Catholic Church.
Father, we're talking about 50p, and you can make maybe 100 meringue with this chickpea can. When I worked in the hotel, we used to buy egg whites, pasteurized egg whites in whole liters. This was over 15 pounds, so I'm not quite convinced the vegan butter alternative.
Comedy. So let's do it. Can we do it at midnight? He said, well, meet me halfway. We'll do it mid-afternoon. So here we go. It's absolutely lovely to have you here. Now, a couple of things that I'm going to say is I'm going to be looking at notes for a while, but my name is Dave, and I've been vegan for a while, and there are certain things that I do miss, like respect. I love that. That is a laugh of recognition, right? I'll tell you this, the worst one, before, Mike was talking about lockdown, before lockdown, I had to do some gigs in Poland. Now, going to Poland as a vegan, it's a bit like going to Cadbury World as a diabetic, right? We went out to a restaurant before the gig, and I said to the waiter, sorry mate, do you have any vegan options? He looked at me like I'd curled one out in the till, right? And I was like, really, no, I hadn't prepared for this. I was like, I'm really sorry, mate. Do you just have anything without meat? And he looked at the menu, looked at me, and he went, we've got duck. And I was like really confused. I said, well, duck is still meat, right? And he said one of the most beautiful sentences I've ever heard. He went, well, it swims, it's part fish. And there's a kind of logic to that, because of course people know there are the different levels of how moral you are, aren't there? Because yes, there are some people that are vegetarian that eat fish. Anyone know what you call a vegetarian that eats fish? Go on, my friend? No, it's a liar. Thank you for joining. I feel really bad. The youngest member of the audience, and I just shoot him down. People are turning up going, why is there a grown adult man bullying a child? At Vegfest, of all things. People at the back are still looking at me like, God, Adam Sandler's let himself go, hasn't he? Right? It's absolutely fine. You are right though, my friend. Pescatarian is the right answer, because there is a weird dietary hierarchy, because meat eaters look down on vegetarians, vegetarians look down on vegans, and vegans look down on no one because they don't have the minerals to grow properly. And well done. Risky joke at Vegfest. Because this is the thing, whenever you do, this is honestly one of my favourite gigs in the world, because you normally do club comedy and you'll hear hack things like, oh, are there any vegans in? Oh no, they're probably too weak to cheer. And I don't like doing things like that. I don't like punching down, because I've found, I don't know if anyone's found this, I've tried to be vegan for quite a while now, because I'm getting on. Because I'm going to be 50 in 18 years' time, so it's just how time works, really, isn't it? And I found that, especially like 5-6 years ago, being vegan was a lot like being American, in the sense that you shouldn't have to apologise for it, but if you don't, people think you're one of the bad ones, right? And some people don't even realise the difference between vegetarian and vegan, and I found this out recently, because I'm going to be honest with you, I think it is amazing that we are getting better at being vegan. I think that is genuinely incredible. When I started trying to do this, and when Tim set this up like 30, 40,000 years ago. He's older than he looks. And it was a lot harder back then, but I think the vegetarian options are becoming a lot easier. But when I started to first do this, I'm not going to lie, I did find it a little bit of a challenge. But I don't think that's a problem, because I am a big believer that sometimes things that are worthwhile aren't always easy, right? There is a famous vegan phrase that you might have heard, which is, you can't make an omelette. That's the phrase, you can't make an omelette. Now, I can't tell you how lovely it is to see you all laughing at that, because last weekend I did some gigs in Loughborough, because my career is on fire. It's a horrible place. I'm sorry, I'm from the middle. It is an awful place. It's the only place I've ever been where even the pigeons look depressed, right? You know, that's all. I went through there. This is genuinely true. The best thing about Loughborough, I went through there on a train. I sat next to two Aussie blokes. I got off at Loughborough. I got my bag. Of course, the kerfuffle woke them up. One Aussie bloke turned to the other as we pulled into the station. He went, "Hey, dude, where are we?" He looked to the platform sign. He went, "I think it's pronounced Luga Baruga." I was like, "Wow! We've arrived in the Maldives of the Midlands, right? As it is, poo hole, right?" What's worse is they know it as well. That's what really annoys me, is because I was checking into my hotel and I said to the lovely receptionist, "Hi, hun, I'm here for 2 nights, 3 days. Where's good to go out around Loughborough?" She said Nottingham, right? So that tells you all that you need to know. But yeah, in Loughborough, they never heard the difference between vegetarian and vegan. Now I realise I'm preaching to the converted here, but if anyone isn't aware, I don't want to, sort of mansplain or overstate it. If you don't know the difference between vegetarian and vegan, the difference is vegetarians are worse. But no, vegetarians don't eat any meat, but vegans don't eat any meat
or use any animal products. That's the big difference. So as vegans, none of us can use any animal products, which is why none of you are allowed to use a zebra crossing. You're not allowed to collect nectar points. And no one in here can support West Ham. So that's the deal. Now my inroad into being vegan was... I'm going to ask you in a minute if you think Wetherspoon's chips are vegan. I'm going to ask you if you think they're non-vegan. We're going to find out. So, give me a cheer if you think Wetherspoon's chips are vegan.
Yeah.
Give me a cheer if you think they're not vegan. I can tell you they are actually vegan. As are, we've got Burger King, McDonald's and Wimpy, if you're living in the late 1990s. So that's... The final one, fossil fuels. Give me a cheer if you think they're vegan.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, you were so excited then, and then nobody backed you up. Because this is the point, isn't it? Fossil fuels come from animals, they're dead, but obviously they're dead like ages ago, but that still means that they're animal products, and then you can't actually not use
still terrible for the environment.
And I think that that's a real issue. And then I didn't know if you know that there is no brand of TV that is technically vegan. Two reasons for that. One is most technologies use animal glues rather than synthetic glues to put them together because they're stronger than synthetic glues. But also, secondly, any LCD screen uses the cholesterol from a cow to make the liquid crystals align. And I told this to one of my mates. I said, well, TVs aren't vegan. He went, well, don't eat your television then, right? And I was like, well, it's not about what you eat, it's about what you use, and I think that's a problem. And he said, all right, what are you going to do? Get rid of your phone, get rid of your laptop, get rid of your TV. And I said, no, because I wanted to be vegan, I don't want to be Amish, right? And then, of course, a couple of years ago, they brought out the new polymer notes, didn't they? The £5 notes. And obviously that uses beef tallow, and obviously the Red Top Press absolutely loved that, and did scores of different interviews about that. There was a headline on The Sun that day, it came out and said, what a load of nonsense, right? Which everyone was trolling vegans, going, why are you eating your £5 notes? Why are you eating your £5 notes? I've got a very good friend who is vegan, is very good on Twitter, and when he went through all of those comments that were people trolling vegans, going, why are you eating your £5 notes? And he responded to every single one going, because they're one of my 5 a day. And an amazing way to get back at it. And I thought, you know what, I can't use TVs, I can't use fossil fuels, I can't use technology. And I thought, is this even possible? And that compounded with the fact, I don't know if you noticed this, but any time that I ate, said or thought things that weren't vegan, people took great delight in pointing out the hypocrisy. People would point me down. And it made me think, why have we got to a point in society where people will just happily pull you down rather than help you along? Why would you, when you put your head above the parapet to try and be a bit different for your own reason, why would people try and claw you down? And I thought I was going to give in until I met the head of the Vegan Society. And she said a beautiful phrase that really helped me, and I hope it helps you. Because she said, the only true vegan is a dead vegan. Which at first I thought was a death threat. But what she meant was, you know what, it might not be possible to be 100% completely unadulteratedly vegan. But that doesn't mean that you should stop, because actually I would argue the other point. If it is so difficult to know where things come from, perhaps now more than ever, it's more important to look into that. And I think it's really important to know where things come from. And I will finish with this. A lovely little example of how showing where it's really important to know where things come from and how it can get you into trouble if it doesn't. Because I also do kids gigs as well. And I was in the Edinburgh Fringe this year, and whenever I do a kids gig, I'll get a kid on stage, they'll tell their jokes, everyone claps, it's a beautiful thing. Now I did a joke, I did this thing at Edinburgh Fringe this year, I got this little girl on stage, and I said, okay, you're going to tell your joke. She started telling this joke, right? And she stood there and she went, what's the difference between apples and orphans? Yeah, mate, like you could feel, like, because very few jokes, including the word orphan, go well, do they? You know what I mean? Like, what's the difference between apples and orchids? I don't know. I haven't got either in my fridge. She stood there and she just looked at the back of the room and she went, apples tend to get picked. And then walked back to her seat, to her parents who were dying of shame, right? Because you know that was Daddy's joke, wasn't it? You know that girl had never come up with that joke in a whole million different years.
Slight growth and change of, what I want in life. I'll tell you what I did for my 18th first. I went to Wimbledon Weatherspoons, right, with my mates, and they made me drink 18 double vodka and oranges, one for every year of my life, plus shots, and I almost passed away. Yeah. This is what I did this year for my 40th. I went on a spa day, right, ended with a pedicure. I didn't know what a pedicure was until a man was sanding off the bottoms of my feet. Then I went for a vegan dinner with my wife and my 1-year-old, and then I went with one male friend to watch Les Miserables, right? I don't know if you can spot the slight difference between those two lifestyle choices. Like, I reckon if you'd have asked me when I was 18, what do you reckon you'll do for your 40th? I would have said 40 double vodka and oranges. But instead, I think I went on a hen do on my own, essentially. But it's lovely. I have actually... Are you filming?
Oh yeah.
Don't film. Sorry. I mean, don't you can't at me, but don't put it anywhere. Sorry, it's weird, isn't it? Because could you come and film a gig in a proper comedy club with a roof and walls? You can film it, yeah, film someone else. I had my first...
Okay, so it's coming to dinner time now. Having my dessert before I have my main course. Well, yeah, but it's an ice cream cone. What are you supposed to do with it? Like, yeah, I'm just having it first. I have a club sandwich by Quorn, which is quite interesting, and I also have a couple of baklavas. One's walnut, the other one cinnamon, and just going to go and get cider before I leave. So I have to have before I get on the train, because obviously London Underground you're not actually allowed to take alcoholic drinks on. I think it's actually against the law to take alcohol on the Underground. So yeah, I'm not going to do that. Or is it just to drink alcohol? Where is this where is the side van? Anyway. Oh, is it gone? That's not. Okay, so basically I was told 5 o'clock the license expires, so they're not selling any more cider. I'm really looking forward to getting a nice rhubarb cider. I did find Benjamin's F&I as I was, getting my ice cream. So I just to quickly leave the queue and go and see him. It's nice. I was kind of licking that to see. Because I ordered coffee and strawberry, topped with Oreos and then a biscuit. Sort of flake. Yeah, lick that. Exactly coffee. I think I can taste the coffee. I don't know. I'm sort of thinking, do you confuse it with the chocolate? Anyway, it's nice. But there's a pig behind me as well. Pig. Oh dear. Alright, so this is the corn cob sandwich. it's just a train going straight to Chapel. Well, when I read the map earlier, I thought it said that, you know, get a train to Chapel first and to Liverpool Street. But if this goes straight to Stratford, I'm alright, aren't I? So yeah.
You have your bag, Dad.
It's nice. Lettuce, tomato, vegan ham, vegan cheese, fake chicken, mayonnaise I think. Very nice. Right, and then this is the baklava. Cinnamon with them. And then, yeah. So yeah, that's, I'll have that when I get home. So yeah. If you enjoyed today's video, and you like to see it, maybe think about subscribe. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.